I'm just going to say a little bit about designing for specific needs. Again, I call upon Helman. What a nice man he is. He said I could use these slides. And, you know, this is an issue, isn't it? I mean, talking about the beauty thing, you end up with, would you want to live there? You know, would you want to live there with all this stuff? You know, the signage, the kind of institutional feel to a place. What you really want is something that looks kind of normal to you, really, you know. And I mean, this is a care home actually in on the outskirts of Bristol, but where the units have been made to look pretty domestic. And so if you were living here, at least it would have the familiarity of the domestic type of unit that you're used to. Ordinary looking, not particularly high architecture, but it looks familiar, it looks comfortable, it looks very domestic. And, you know, the trees there, the grass, etc., you can look out the window if nothing else. So trying to avoid an institutional look is, I think, quite good as a maxim. And, you know, even when it comes to things like facilities in disabled toilets or in care homes, or where you're getting provision to make something very functional, it doesn't mean it shouldn't be nice too, you know, it should also look nice. I mean, the colours and contrasts can actually make something look more attractive if well chosen. So, you know, why not use some nice colours? In care home situations, it's particularly crucial to ensure that there is space for people to walk around. In cases of dementia, for example, Alzheimer's disease, for very long periods of the latter stages of the condition, people have an urge to walk. It's some kind of, whether it's trying to seek for something they once had or what it is, but it's a very strong urge to walk around and to just circulate. So having routes in care homes that people can either walk or be taken on internal walks and external walks is something that is necessary to maintain the well-being of people in care homes. Because if you've got absolutely no change of scenery, you know for your own experience of having flu or something, you know, and you feel really rotten and you're stuck in the house. And after a bit, you start getting cabin fever, don't you? You kind of think, oh my goodness, I've got to get out of this place. And, you know, people in care homes are no different. They start to feel uncomfortable. They want to get out. They want to do something different. And the change of scenery can actually prevent a lot of behaviours that are difficult to manage for staff. So, for example, aggressive behaviour, which is one of the sad consequences of something like Alzheimer's disease, often the case at the end of life. It can be reduced by actually facilitating changes of scene, being able to walk down a corridor into another area, see something a bit different, can actually reduce the likelihood of aggression and can increase comfort and reduce the likelihood of somebody feeling upset, you know. And I mean, if you've ever been to a care home, it can be very distressing seeing people crying, you know, and they don't know why. But then if somebody then takes them out and walks them around, they often stop crying and they look at something beautiful, like a tree in blossom or something, and they start to feel better. So those things are not only important, but essential. Daylight, sunlight and artificial lighting, I think, are important for all of us in whatever context we're in. That we feel better in daylight. I feel a bit bad talking about it here because we've got all the blinds down. But generally, we want to maximise exposure to daylight. And particularly in care homes, that can be quite crucial because often people's circadian rhythms get unbalanced, and they actually need to, this leads to sleep problems. So lighting sources of different types can be very beneficial to try and help to establish better patterns of sleep.